Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello, and welcome to 2023 Book Chat. I am your host, Dr. Vivian E. Moore. I hope everybody had a lovely holiday season, Christmas and New Year's. I wasn't here with you to help bring in 2023. I'm here now, but, I had a long vacation, a very needed restful vacation, but I am back in full force, and I am just so excited to be back here in 2023. 2022 was it was an eventful year, but it was filled with highs and lows. But the most important part is that I'm still here. Yes. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, let's get straight to today's show. I don't want to hold you for too long, so we're going to get straight to it. The title of today's show is Let's Do the Time Warp Again, and the topic is my top 10 books of 2022. I know you've been waiting for that, and I've been waiting to share it with you. I'm excited about it because I've read so many books in 2022 and so many great books in 2022, and I want to share those books with the audience. And so you can add them to your reading list for 2023 if you haven't already read them. You may want to add them to your reading list for this year. Anyway, but my desire for 2023 is to be bigger and better with more helpful writing tips and author interviews. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't lined up any yet for 2023, but I'm working on that. I mean, the year just got started, okay? But we're going to get to that. And hopefully here within the next few weeks or maybe a month or so, we'll have some author interviews lined up for you. Because I love those. That is one of the best parts of doing this program is having other authors on and having them to talk about their books and give, their insights and point of views on, why they write and, if that's your heart's desire to do the same, why you should do it. All right. So anyway, let's get started with my all-time favorite books of 2022. Y'all ready? All right. So let's go. So, again, I read so many books last year, and a few months out of last year I was sick, and so during that downtime, you have to fill it with something other than sleeping. So reading was always an option, and and sometimes I didn't feel like holding a book up, so that's why and where the Audible books came in handy, because all I had to do was just start it to playing and then just lay there and listen. So that's an added feature that if you don't listen to audiobooks, maybe you want to add those also to your 2023 reading list. All right, so we're going to start from 10 and then get to number 1. All right, so we're going to do it in the opposite order. All right, so and then 2, again, I just want to let you know that I'm only sharing those books that I read that made and left an impression, and also received 4 stars or higher in my reviews. Okay, so anyway, the first one on the list is Pretty Little Wife by Dorby Kane. In this twisted domestic thriller, nothing is what it seems. Okay, so that sort of whets your appetite for what's to come. All right, so if you want to know more about this book, You can read it on Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy it. But read the summary first, and I promise you will enjoy it as much as I did. All right. So number 9 is The Body Counter by Anne Fraser. All right. I got to go get my glasses checked for this year, too. That's another thing I'm adding to the list. All right. So this is a detective series that it won't disappoint. Okay. And that's all I have to say. But read the books in order, because that's very helpful if you get the books in order. And if you go to Amazon, they have all the books in order of that series. So you want to make sure that you start from the beginning and then work your way to the last book. If whatever that happens, I don't know if she's done writing or not, but anyway, it's a great series. And so far, I'm on book 2 of that series, but book 1 was fantastic. All right, so number 8 on the list, The Widow by Kara Ruda. I hope I'm saying her name first. I don't know if it's Ruda or Rauda, but it's Rouda. Okay, if you need to look it up. All right, so this book holds a multitude of secrets, and some that can be deadly. Some secrets can be very deadly, all right? So this is another great thrilling Bullet Express train ride. So hold on to your seats when you start to read this book, because it is that and more. It's very good. All right, so number 7 is Devoted by one of my all-time favorite authors, Dean Koontz. Okay, so if you are familiar with Dean Koontz, then you know exactly how he writes. All right, so, and I am a diehard Koontz fan. All right, and so if not, this book should definitely be on your reading list too for 2023. Okay, whether you're a fan or not, it should be on your list. All right, it is classic Koontz with all the bells and whistles that we are accustomed to with this writer. And it is a guaranteed thrill ride from start to finish. Now, this was not the only book I read by Koontz last year. I read many books, but this one stood out. And so it's number 7 on the list. But Dean Koontz is right up there with Stephen King when it comes to horror, mystery, and thrillers, okay? All right, so the next one is number 6, all right? And it's called Baby Teeth. And this book is by Zoe Stage. Now, she spelled her name a little different. It's Zoje, and I may be pronouncing the first name wrong as well, but I think it's Zoe. Okay, so you can fact check me on that if you need to. All right, but anyway, this book is one of Pop Sugar's must-read books, and I agree 100%. Talk about sadistic children. Oh, my goodness. This book covers every aspect of how children pit parents against each other. This book, I'm sure, will become a top psychological thriller if it's not already, because it covers all the bases, and it is shocking, suspenseful, and creepy. I'm like, oh my goodness, I went through some phases with my children, where they tried to, play me and my ex-husband. But it didn't work because, it's like I'm already hip to this game, because I did it to my parents. So I already know what's going on. So, you could just stop. All right. But anyway, this book is good. It is very good. And it started high on my list as well. So check that out and get it on your reading list for 2023. All right. So number 5 is We Lie Here. All right, so this book sort of snuck up on me, all right? It's by Rachel Halsell Hall, okay? And what I mean by that is that when I started reading it, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this book. I'm not feeling it. So, my intuition said, just keep reading. And so I kept reading, and I'm so glad I did. Because this book was not what I expected at all. It exceeded expectations, and it's filled with family drama, mystery, and betrayal. And you should certainly add this one to your list as well. All right, so check it out. We Lie Here by Rachel Halsell Hall. That was the first book I've ever read from this author, And if there are other books that she's written out there, it will not be my last because I truly enjoyed it. And and I know that you will as well. All right, so number 4 is Kindred by Octavia, sorry about that, E. Butler. And listen, I'm late with this book, okay? I'm very late to the game with this book because it's been out for a while. It's been out for a hot minute. And so I think I have heard of it before, but I never really got out there and researched it for myself. And what made me get out there and research the book, to find the book, was I saw this series. I think it's on Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those little mini series. You know how they do everything in episodes now. But anyway, I think it's on Hulu. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is on Hulu. Anyway, I started watching the series, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute, let me stop. Let me get the book so I can read it, and then I'll go back to the series. Because you know that the books are sometimes way better than the movies, okay? So both of these are like neck and neck, all right? So, but get it. You won't be disappointed with this one either. Kindred is very good. And, and if you're a fan of time travel, I'm getting tongue-tied here, then this is the book that has that more, all right? So add it to your list, all right? So number 3 is The Outsider by Stephen King. Y'all knew he had to be on the list somewhere. Once I mentioned his name, y'all knew he had to be on this list somewhere. So he's on there. He's number 3. All right. So now, I couldn't leave him off the list. I couldn't mention him and then leave him off the list. All right. Because he is one of my all-time favorites. All right. So it would just be disrespectful if I left Stephen King off that list. All right. So this book is also a miniseries. And it's on HBO Max. Don't quote me on that either, because I watch a lot of miniseries. Okay, I watch a lot of streaming shows, and sometimes I get confused, but I do believe it's HBO Max. All right, but anyway, oh my good gracious, the movie was good. The book was even better. All right, so read the book first, but most definitely check out the movie next. Okay, in that order. I loved all the characters and the intense storyline that is 100%. King, all right? Yes, Stephen King reigns supreme in horror and suspense. He does. He reigns supreme in both of those categories. Oh my goodness. The book, oh my gosh. I know I'm just gushing here, but I can't help it because it's Stephen King first of all, but the book was just so great, and the miniseries was great too, and I just love the actors that they chose to portray those characters from the book. Oh my gosh, they will become some of your favorites as well. So I'm a fan favorite of the movie and of the book. So check out both. All right, if you have the time, put them on your list for 2023. All right, so number 2 is Lucky by Marissa Stapley. And it is a New York Times bestseller. And it's a Reese Book Club pick. And I understand why after reading this book, because it was a thrilling roller coaster ride. And the title says it all, okay? It says Lucky. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, was this character lucky. All right, that was her name, and she was definitely lucky. But you need to check it out for yourself. And I don't want to give too much away, so you need to go out there and check it out for yourself, and that way you can, you can see if you like it or not. And hopefully they'll make a movie out of this one too, because it's worth it. I'm telling you, the book was outstanding, and I just feel like a movie would be even better, or a miniseries, done in episodes. You know how they do things these days. All right, so number 1, drum roll, Upgrade by Blake Crouch has it all. Part thriller, sci-fi, and suspense. Okay. And did I mention it is also a New York Times bestseller? Deservedly so, okay? It is next level in innovation and evolutionary writing, okay? This book checks all the blocks of why it deserves to be number 1 on my list and best-selling. It is an immersive read with intelligent writing and with masterful characters. So, Mr. Blake Crouch, my hat is off to you, because Upgrade is just it is just wonderful. It is a wonderful read. And you won't be disappointed, okay? So definitely add that one to your 2023. I'm getting tongue-tied again. I'm not used to saying 2023 reading list, okay? Do that. Do yourself a favor and go ahead and do that. All right, so anyway, you had my top 10. I've given you my top 10 best books of 2022. And this concludes my 2022 list of great reads. So 2023 is just getting started, but I am well underway preparing the next top 10 list for the first half of the year. So stay tuned because there is more to come. Reading is one of my favorite pastimes, and I do it every single day. Maybe not on Saturdays and Sundays, but most definitely Monday through Friday, I'm reading. And sometimes, depending on how long the book is, I can read 2 books in a day. All right. So in Amazon, they have a, or is it Audible? I think it's Audible. They have a ton of short stories that some are like 30 minutes long, some are like an hour, 2 hours, 3 to 4 hours long. But they're very good. I mean, they're novellas, but they could be full length novels if the writer wanted to increase the page numbers on these books. But even being novellas, they're still just wonderful reads. So add these books and maybe a few of your own. And you can share your reading list with me as well. I would greatly appreciate that because I'm always looking for new material to read. And if you notice that my selection is mostly sci-fi and suspense, that's what I'm into these days. Not so much romance. They have a little romance. I'm a romance writer, go figure. But I am deeply into the suspense and thriller these days. It's like I can't get enough of that. So, and I think you'll enjoy it as well. All right, so like I said, that is our show for today, but most certainly not for this year because I am back and in full force. All right, so I'm energetic. I am well rested. I am so ready to bring new things to the table this year. And I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. But before I let you go, I just want to make sure that I leave you with these URLs. Of course, the show is available on Spreaker, and it's also you can listen to it anywhere podcast or broadcast. All right, but if you want to stay in contact with me, of course, you can reach out to me at Spreaker, and that is at https ://www.spreaker.com /user/author Vivian Moore. You can follow me across all social media platforms, which include Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Okay, so those are all the places where you can reach out to me across social media. And you can also check out my blog. I know it hasn't been updated any this year because I just came back, but it will be updated today. And that is at https ://vivianymore.blogspot.com. All right. And again, you can listen to this podcast on Spreaker. You can listen to it wherever podcasts are available. And the newest one is Good Pods. Okay, so that one was added. I don't know when that one was added, but it had to be recently because I've not seen it before. But anyway, including that one, you can listen to Book Chat on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, Dial Savin, iTunes, sorry about that, I hit the microphone, audible.com, Verbal Luminary, and Amazon. All right. Amazon and Audible may be one and the same, I'm not sure, but anyway, those are all the places where you can listen to it, as well as many other places, but these are the ones that I for sure know about. So I just want to pass that along to you. Also, tomorrow's Worship Day is the second Sunday in 2023. I was told last Sunday, which was the first Sunday, that we would not have another first Sunday on that starts with the new year until 11 years from now. So I hope to see you then. when that happens. I hope to still be here when that happens. But anyway, again, tomorrow's worship day. And so I'm looking forward to that as well, okay? Because that's tomorrow. And I hope you are too. And I hope that you are planning to invite others to come out and worship with you. Those that may still be afraid to come out to the church because of COVID. And COVID is still around. And I think it will always be with us. I think it's like the flu and the measles and the mumps. You know, we have vaccines for all of those, but you can still catch it. All right. So I think COVID is going to be the same way. But you have to take the proper precautions so you don't get sick and make others sick. All right. So do that. And also, you know, make sure that you invite your, as well as your family members, but your neighbors to come and worship as well, because worship is necessary. We need to do that. You just don't do it on Sundays. You should do it every day. But Sunday is a day for us to come together corporately and to worship. All right. So, and be sure, guys, because 2022... it went by in a blur, but there were a lot of us that lost loved ones, including myself in 2022. And but I'm glad I had the opportunity to tell my loved one how much I love them, because we know, and I know, that tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say it. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.